Start by choosing a suitable calculation standard depending on your application. In the dedicated calculation standard, the product scope, the fluids, and the settings are customized for each application. This is an easy and convenient way for you to start a new calculation. The General 1-phase and General 2-phase calculation standards have full scope, full flexibility, and no preset values, and should only be used when the dedicated calculation standards do not cover your needs. In this demo, we will use the HVAC calculation standard. Then we need to specify the product line. If the alternatives are marked in black, this means that they are available in the current calculation standard. If choosing any of the other alternatives, you will automatically be transferred to another calculation standard. For this demo, we select Alpha Nova. If you often use the same calculation standard, you can set this to be opened by default each time you start the configurator. You do this by saving it as a pattern. Click on the toolbox icon. Then on Save Pattern. Give the pattern a suitable name. And select the tick box for using this pattern as default every time you start a new configuration. Click Save. If you want to restart the configurator, you can do this by clicking on the link above. If you need to change the unit settings, you can do this under this menu. The red arrow refers to the hot side and the blue arrow to the cold side. You can also change the flow direction and the flow type. The flow direction is visualized by the arrows. Select Calculation Mode. The most commonly used calculation modes are Selection and Design. The Selection mode will find pre-configured standard units that can perform the given duty, and which you can go on and order immediately. This is where you will find the items that are kept on stock. The Design mode will give the optimal plate configurations for the given duty. This is typically used when you want to customize the unit for specific needs. You will be able to get a unique item ID for your configuration. We will make this calculation in the Selection mode. Let's start by filling in the capacity of the duty. Then we set the media on the hot side. Water is always set as default, but this can easily be changed if you need to do that. Here you have a library of fluids to use for your calculation, but for this demo we will keep water. We continue by entering the inlet temperature. You can use the mouse to activate the next field, or you can use the tab key to tab between the different fields. The configurator spends some time to recalculate the heat balance when entering a temperature, but you can continue to fill in the rest of the values without any problem. We continue and insert the outlet temperature. We change the allowed pressure drop for the hot side. We set the in and the outlet temperatures, and we keep the default 30 kPa as maximum pressure drop. An open padlock means that the value is either a default value or it has been calculated by the configurator. This value may change depending on other input you make. A closed padlock means the value has been specified by the user. The value is committed and will not change on other inputs you make. We unlock the outlet temperature by clicking on the padlock, and instead we specify the flow rate. The value for flow rate is now locked and the outlet temperature has been calculated. To see the temperature graph, click on the T sign. This graph visualizes the temperatures we have just entered. Press Calculate Result List to see the recommended solutions. The list you see is sorted by price, starting with the lowest. Availability shows either the shipping date or the quantity of stock. Calculated pressure drop and margin are easily comparable. To see more details, you can click on the information sign. To see even more details, you can click on the drop-down arrow to the right. Under Design Details, you find more values for this configuration. Click the arrow again for easy access to print the drawing and the technical specification. You can learn more about the options of technical specification in the demo called Technical Specification and Drawing.